This is 1480 KRAE Cheyenne. What you are about to hear is a sports talk radio show unlike any other that has ever before been broadcast in the capital city of Cheyenne, Wyoming, USA. This is Cheyenne, Wyoming's Sports Talk Authority. The Wyoming Cowboys, the Denver Broncos, the Colorado Rockies, and the Denver Nuggets. The show is local, it's regional, and yes, the show is national as well. Wyoming Sports Talk Today is on the air. If they're talking sports on the radio in Cheyenne, this is the place it happens. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
Me and Junior, we are glad to be back with you on Wyoming Sports Talk Today after doing some hoops last night in Sterling, Colorado. Our program today being brought to you by Marv's Plumbing and Heating, 1515 Logan Avenue. And again, remember over at Marv's Plumbing and Heating, the weather is turning colder, so let them come on by and check out your heating units, whether it just needs a filter change. Let them take care of it for you. Mars Plumbing Heating, 1515 Logan Avenue. Mondello's Pizzeria, the best Paisan cuisine around. And it's not a chain. It is locally owned, locally operated, family-owned, family-operated. And again, this is the way Paisan cuisine should taste all the time. Joe and the family and his special staff will take good care of you. Mondello's Pizzeria, 1507 Stillwater Avenue. Sweet Dean, the Greenway Commons. Across the street at 1508 Stillwater Avenue. It's First Tier Bank. Banking with customer service. Always. First and foremost, don't forget to talk to them about their special CD rates with great annual percentage yields. Lennox Auto Body can be found on Dunn Avenue. Founded by Dick Lennox. Tradition carried on by daughter Heather. And Heather reminds you, in addition to the repair center on Dunn Avenue, they also have for you on Pershing their auto glass and detail center. Medicap Pharmacy for all your pharmaceutical needs with your doctor's prescription. See Gene and the great staff over on Bluegrass Circle next door to Texas Roadhouse. Platte Valley Bank ×2. Banking again. Customer service. I'm the kind of guy that doesn't like to do the banking online. I like to go there and talk with the folks behind the counter. And I'll tell you what, they are the friendliest folks over at Platte Valley Bank. You will see them ×2. Over on the east side, you'll catch them over at the corner of College and Pershing. The original location over on Vandehigh. Key of Cheyenne over on Nationway. Talking to my good friend AJ this morning. And again, Key of Cheyenne says 18s. Adios. Let's get rid of them. So you're going to find some special deals going on right now. The 19s are arriving. Maybe you want to step behind the driving, the wheel and take a test drive in the new 19 from Key of Cheyenne. Chick-fil-A at the corner, Windmill and Del Range. They are open Monday through Saturday, 3 squares, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Matter of fact, their chicken biscuit for breakfast, their hash brown scramble bowl, and a cup of coffee with 2 convenient drive-thrus. Oh, by the way, check out what's going on at Chick-fil-A. Corner, Windmill, Del Range, right across from Menards. Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service on Highway 30, having a hail of a sale. Summertime may be gone, and it's fall, but right now, those Jayco's fifth wheels, RVs, travel trailers, specially marked down because of the hailstorm that we had back in the summer. And again, they're having a hail of a sale. It's still going on. Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service. Taco John's with a plethora of locations here in Cheyenne. Loaded potato olays. Matter of fact, they're 6-pack at a pound. They're 3 for $5 walking tacos, just to mention 3 goodies that are going on. Matter of fact, I can tell you, I just got the newest promotion in the other day. As we're getting close to the holidays, oh, you're going to like it. Taco John's of Cheyenne, all kinds of good stuff and good eats all the time. And we get things underway with our scoreboard. Our scoreboard this morning, this afternoon, is brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne. Here's Junior.
Yeah, test drive with a Kia, a car behind what is that thing?
Steering wheel. Steering wheel. Yeah, I have a senior moment. I had one senior moment last night. I'm having my senior moment. I'm getting it out of the way right now. Let's roll. Let's roll.
Anyways, LCCC men's basketball in action.
Don't screw up. I'll be on you like a cheap suit.
Again, on 1480 KRAE. Again, a game that we broadcasted live last night in Sterling, Colorado. It was a loss, however, for the LCCC men as they fall 71-55 to Northeastern. So for LCCC, they move to 1-2 overall. Women in action in Colorado Springs as they took on Air Force Academy, the prep team. However, they did get a victory, 83-53. So for LCCC women's basketball, they move move to 2-1. And also, too, keeping on the theme with LCCC, we do know the matchups right now for volleyball as they are in the national tournament out in Kansas for the 15-seed LCCC Golden Eagles. They will take on the number 2 seed College of Southern Idaho. NHL action for tonight, 3 games on the slate. 1 game will be the Washington Caps at home at Capital One Arena hosting the Pittsburgh Penguins. That game you can see at 5:30 on NBC Sports Network. After that game wraps up on NBC Sports Network in the Pepsi Center, the Colorado Avalanche hosting the Nashville Predators, and in the Pond, Honda Center, Anaheim Ducks hosting the Calgary Flames. That's what's happening NHL action for tonight.
Weird thing happened last night in the NHL.
What?
All the home teams won.
Spooky, I
guess. That's an oddity. All home teams won. On the NBA scoreboard, the Cavaliers in the Quicken Loans Arena, they'll host the OKC Thunder, which should be another loss for the Cavs. Pistons and the Magic tonight in the Amway Center. The Knicks and the Hawks at the State Farm Arena in Atlanta. GA, Spurs and the Heat in the American Airlines Arena. 76ers, Pacers in the Bankers Life Fieldhouse in Indianapolis. The Nuggets trying to pick up their 10th win of the season against one loss. They're on the road. They got the Memphis Grizzlies in the FedEx Forum in Memphis, Tennessee. Bulls and the Pelicans in the Smoothie King Arena in New Orleans. Mavericks and the Jazz, they will be in the Vivint Smart Home Arena. That will be in Salt Lake City. Raptors and the Kings in Sacramento at the Golden One Center. And it's the Timberwolves and the Lakers tonight at Staples. Our scoreboard brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne.
Hi, I'm Alex White, tea master at Pure Leaf. When I make tea, everything I know goes in.
Tuesday is for tacos. Taco Tuesday at Taco John's. It's a sacred holiday where we eat tacos repeatedly until I get full.
Save big every Taco Tuesday with crispy beef tacos for just 99 cents.
Get some rest, boys, because come Taco Tuesday, we olay the day.
Olay the day at Taco John's.
Due to our stormy season this summer, Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service is offering you a hail of a deal on a wide variety of travel trailers, including toy haulers. Get up to an additional 50% off MSRP on Jolly Rogers' already low prices. Check out their new and used inventory. Damaged or not, you can still travel in style. Call Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service today, your exclusive Jayco dealer at 634-8457. See them at 6102 U.S. Highway 30 or go to jollyrogersrv.com.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
For today, it'll be partly sunny with a chance of snow showers with highs around 36. For tonight, it'll be mostly cloudy with a chance of snow showers throughout the evening with lows around 19. On Thursday, it'll be partly sunny with highs around 32. And on Thursday night, it'll be mostly clear with lows around 16.
Fat, lazy, and stupid is no way to conduct a sports talk radio show. We've thrown down the gauntlet, upped the stakes, and made it clear that when it comes to sports talk radio in Cheyenne, there's a new player in town. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it's only here on AM 1480 KRAE.
It is nice to be back with you on Wyoming Sports Talk today after broadcasting live from the Jackson and Edwards Arena in Sterling, Colorado, NJC, LCCC basketball. And we're back with Wyoming Sports Talk today. We go to the phone talk to our first guest, he being Kevin McGlue, voice of the Colorado Eagles.
Well, the last time we talked to him, it was the Colorado Eagles hosting yet another championship, at least in the ECHL, but now things a little different.
It's the American Hockey League, the AHL. We've moved up not one, but two ranks, the AAA professional hockey. Kevin, thank you so much for joining us again, and let's talk about since we last talked to you, the transition. Basically, all of the elements were in place front office wise. So we welcome in the AAA farm system of the Colorado Avalanche. How was all that transition going on through the off months?
I think it's gone very, very well. Obviously, there's a lot of moving parts when you're trying to essentially move a program that was at that time based in San Antonio with the Rampage and move them here to Colorado. We had to do a lot of expansion with the arena, down the event level, basically gutted the locker rooms, redid everything along that locker room area, put in a new gym, just all the facilities that are required for competing at the American Hockey League level. And, that was basically all summer. And it was right up till the start of training camp. But, for everything having to be compacted into what was a short off season after, playing all the way to mid-June, I think it's gone pretty darn well.
Was it tough to say goodbye to the members of that ECHL team that had been victorious the last couple of seasons for the Colorado Eagles?
Oh, absolutely. And there were some great players and guys who were tremendous leaders here, and obviously the guys who put down roots and have since stayed here in Colorado. So, it's always tough to walk away from a lot of success when you had back-to-back championships in the ECHL before making this move. But, to have the opportunity to move to the American Hockey League and specifically to do so with the affiliation with the Avalanche, it's such a rare opportunity and such an exciting opportunity that it's one that you really have to jump at if you even have a sniff at that sort of a chance. So I know the Eagles organization was very excited about it, but, we always hold those guys in very, very high regard, and they did a lot for this franchise.
Who were some of those, at least, pieces of that ECHL kind of franchise that actually made the jump and got that opportunity to join the AAA ranks? That some names that fans here in Wyoming, or at least in northern Colorado, might have recognized from that team of last year that actually are still a part of the Colorado Eagles heading into this season.
Yeah, and the bulk of these guys are guys that were part of the Avalanche affiliation that we saw last year, especially in the playoff run, that really helped this club, but were very young at the time. They were 20 or 21 years old. Guys like Nicholas Malash, J.C. Bodan was certainly a big part of that run. Julian Nantel is a guy that's still here and still playing with the team. And Michael Jolie, who was the playoff MVP last year, is still with us at this time. And then you have a guy in Mason Gertson and also a guy in Sergei Boykov who were a part of the Kelly Cup run 2 years ago with the Colorado Eagles. So, I know it's been a big jump and certainly have some different faces and some things have changed, but there are a lot of familiar faces, and I think that's been a good thing for the fans.
With the parent club being just 50 miles down the road, how much does the Avalanche get into your guys' business? I obviously, they own the franchise, but is still the Colorado Eagles their own entity where, hey, you still call your own shots, or does the Avalanche have more of a say-so in player movement and anything else?
Well, in terms of player movement and really the hockey operation side of everything, that is handled by the Avalanche. And the Avalanche hires and puts people in position there to coach the team, to work with the team, the trainers, everything that works with the team on a day-to-day basis. That is facilitated by the Avalanche, and they're the ones who decide the comings and goings of players and signing of players, and whether you're going to have a guy go up or go down, that's handled by the Avalanche. Now, everything else stays the same with the organization. The business side of things is handled here, the same group led by Chris Stewart. So this is, I think, something that the Avalanche looked at and said, it's a great model. It's worked really well for a long time. They're a group that was really serious about going out in the community and being a big part of the community, and this community has latched on to this brand. So I don't think they want to, have too much in terms of dictating what we're going to do on the business side whatsoever. But again, on the hockey side, they're the ones that certainly pull the strings on everything.
We are talking with Kevin McGlue, voice of the Colorado Eagles, as hockey season underway for both the Avs as well as the Eagles, and both teams off to fairly decent starts. So, again, I look at this franchise, the Avalanche, and now with the AAA affiliate just 50 miles away. And then I have to throw in the baseball parallel where, before where the Rockies had Colorado Springs Sky Sox, players could go up and down, rehab, whatever the case may be. Are we seeing that in the early get-go? We seeing some of the big club guys working out with the AHL team?
Oh, absolutely. You've seen Vladislav Kamenev, who played the first 2 games of the year with us, go up and play the rest of this early portion of the season with the Avalanche, and he's now a second-line center for the Avalanche in the NHL. Sheldon Dries, who's played half a dozen games with us here in the first 10 games of our season, called up to the Avalanche and scored his first NHL goal last week and picked up an assist that same night, and has been a really nice addition for them when they need a little scoring depth due to some injuries. And it was a pretty neat scenario last week where A.J. Greer gets called up to the Avalanche, plays for the Avalanche in Vancouver on Friday night, flies back with the team, and he was suiting up for us and playing in the game on Saturday, scored a goal for us. So, yeah, you're definitely seeing that movement. You're seeing guys getting an opportunity to play up with the Avalanche, and as injuries resolve themselves, you're seeing guys filter back here after a stint with the Avs, and that's just the first 10 games. So I think as the season goes along, you're going to see more and more of that, and I think the fans have really enjoyed that.
Does that, in Coach Cronin's mind, and again with him taking over this franchise in Colorado, does it have a little bit of a disruption with players coming up and down, or is the philosophy, the Avalanche, still the same with the Colorado Eagles on the ice?
I think that it's just the nature of minor league hockey in particular, that you're going to have guys coming and you're going to have guys going, and you can't allow that to have too much of an impact on the chemistry of the team, and you just have to roll with the punches. And I know that's easier said than done, but that's certainly what you sign on for when you opt to coach a team at this level. Is you're going to have guys that are going to go up, you're going to have guys that are going to come back down, you're going to have guys that you're going to pull up from the ECHL that maybe you haven't seen since training camp. But as you had said, they do try to keep a lot of similarities in the systems that are run between the Avalanche and the Eagles. There's certainly some room for putting in some personal philosophies, whether it's on the power play or the penalty kill. But those are just minor tweaks. By and large, what you're seeing with the Avalanche is what you're seeing with the Eagles, and that's just a way to really make that transition easier when you do have a guy get called up, that you can plug him right in, and you can expect him to know his role and be ready to go. And I think you've seen that kind of bear fruit in the first few guys who have gone up from the Eagles to the Avalanche, and they produce goals, they produce points.
We had a chance to chat with both Coach Cronin as well as Coach Bednar. And, the thing, too, that I liked when we talked with Ray was that he spent a lot of time with the Avalanche to, absorb, I guess, the Avalanche philosophy. So I guess my question is to you, and you and me, we've been in this business for a long time. We've seen coaches come and go. How's the relationship, you as the broadcaster, with the coach?
Oh, it's been great, and it's unfortunately been a little stretch where we haven't had Coach Cronin with us. His mother passed away, and he went back to Boston to be with his family and help with those arrangements. And unfortunately, we didn't have him for the last 4 contests, as his mom was suffering from a serious illness and wanted to spend some time with her. But now he's back. He's led the last couple of practices. He'll be on the road with us as we head to San Diego. But it's been great. It's definitely, I think, beneficial in the fact that he gives you a different outlook and a different approach to coaching than maybe you see from Aaron Schneekloth and from Ryan Tobler. I think they complement themselves and each other very, very well in that room. And I think that, again, you have different voices and you have different ways of communicating to, whether it's the staff or particularly the players, what it is that you're looking for them each and every night. And I think that it's been a good synergy between those three, and the way that Aaron Schneekloth and Ryan Tobler stepped in during Coach Cronin's absence, did a heck of a job. Got a couple of wins last weekend against a really good Tucson team, but I know everybody is happy to see Greg Cronin back, and hopefully, in a good mindset and ready to move forward, because I know it's been a tough time for him.
It certainly has been a good relationship, again, with Coach Cronin, with the Colorado Eagles as well, too. In second place right now, currently in the Pacific Division, just behind the San Jose Barracuda. Now, my question for you, at least, Kevin, heading into the season, again, fresh new meat, the Colorado Eagles are in the AHL, kind of looked at that new target, but how much of a target is on the backs of the Colorado Eagles? Again, yes, they've won 2 championships in a row, at least a franchise down in the ECHL, but now moving up to the AAA ranks. Is there a target at all, or is it just kind of this Eagles team looked at fresh meat to the rest of the league?
No, I think it's more of a case of just trying to figure out what this team is all about, because it's a different makeup from what you saw with the Avalanche's AHL affiliate last year when they were in San Antonio, and that was a split affiliation between the Avalanche and the St. Louis Blues. So a lot of different pieces that you're seeing this year. You have a new head coach, you have new assistant coaches playing in a new building that's at altitude that, it's packed every night, and there's an incredible home ice advantage. So, I think the teams that are coming in here are realizing that this is a good team. It's a fast team. It's a team that you do play them on the road here at the Budweiser Event Center. You're going to have your hands full, and that's kind of borne itself out. As Colorado's done a really good job on home ice this year. They've won 4 straight at the Budweiser Event Center, and I think every team is still trying to figure out who they are and kind of put together their own identity as a team. And I think Colorado has done a nice job of kind of expediting that process. They've done a great job over the last 6 games, picking up 4 wins in those 6 games. And now you get a chance to face another team in your division this week against San Diego. And this is going to be a tough stretch. They play 9 games in 16 days. So this is going to tell a lot about this team here in the early going. It's the first time they've had a stretch like this, and of those 9 games, you're looking at 5 of them on the road. So this will be an interesting test for this team coming up.
At the Bud Center there, you look at the attendance, especially when you had the ECHL team in play. Now you have the AHL team in play. How's crowds? Are they more, or are they still pretty much the stable numbers that you saw in years past?
Oh, they've been fantastic, and again, we've had 4 games and 4 sellouts, and everything is trending really well. And I think that nothing sells it better than coming out and getting a sense of, first of all, the entertainment you're going to get when you walk in that building. There's not a bad seat in the entire place. Plus, the level of play that you see at the American Hockey League level it's incredible. And you knew there was going to be a jump from the ECHL, but to see the speed and the skill that the jump that's been made from the AA level now to the AAA level is pretty impressive. And I think the fans have been the beneficiary of that, and they've really enjoyed it. But it's still physical. You still see some fights. You still see the big hits, but you see a lot of skill, and you see some outstanding goaltending. And, you've seen 4 wins already in the first 6 home games. So I think fans have really liked that. And, it's just a great night. And, again, they keep it family affordable. And anybody who hasn't been out to an Eagles game, you need to get out and check it out, because, again, it's so unique. And if you live in southern Wyoming, you live in northern Colorado, you can get home pretty quickly after the game, and it's not going to cost you, an arm and a leg to get to the game as well. So it's been great. So far, it's been outstanding, and I think the fans have really enjoyed the style of play and the level of play.
Kevin, we want to thank you so much for joining us here today on Wyoming Sports Talk today and giving us an update on I guess we can say the new Colorado Eagles, and we're looking forward to coming on down. And again, too, there's nothing wrong with going 50 miles south to the can and watching the big boys play down there too, because the Avs, again, under Coach Bednar, they seem to be moving in the right direction. The whole franchise seems to be moving in the right direction.
It really does, and you're right. That's a great place to go down and check it out. And I think it's great to be able to do both, and again, see some of the same guys that you're seeing playing for the Eagles, playing for the Avalanche, and vice versa. And you're right, Coach Bednar and the whole Avalanche organization have taken some huge strides, and they've produced some really good talent. And I think a lot of that talent that they've drafted is really being assembled and grown here, and guys are taking big steps forward. Some of those guys who are a part of that run to the Kelly Cup last year I think really got themselves a big jolt of experience and really intense playoff series. And now all of a sudden, you're starting to establish this is your home and this is your AHL home. And, you have Joe Sakic coming up to the Budweiser Event Center watching the games. And you do have the Avalanche brass keeping an eye on these players, and they're well aware of that. So I think you're getting the best of these players.
All righty, Kevin. Thanks so much for joining us today on Wyoming Sports Talk Day. We'll catch up with you down the road, all right?
All right, sounds good. Thanks, guys.
All righty, Kevin McGlue, voice of the Colorado Eagles, join us here on 1480 KRAE, getting the latest on the Colorado Eagles. And again, too, Nick, as you mentioned, and I was going to ask him this one question. I was trying to look it up online as well. When he mentioned the name Nicholas Milosh, I wonder if that is the former netminder for the old California Golden Seals, Gilles Milosh, who ended up going, I think at the time when the franchise folded in Oakland, they either went to Cleveland and some of them went off to Pittsburgh. I'm wondering, I couldn't find anything, believe it or not, online about Nicholas Milosh's parents. I was just curious if that was.
You haven't gone to the deep web yet, at least to see that. But again, maybe not.
Well, anyway,
it's a question we'll have to ask when we get Kevin on again throughout this season.
But I'm very impressed with the Eagles start, 6-2-2. The Avalanche
I
now.
wouldn't say impressed. It's kind of almost expectations at this point. Again,
Well,
jumping
mirroring the big club.
Absolutely, but also too, it's mirroring of what this Eagles team did last season, or at least for quite some time now down there at the Budweiser Event Center. Again, whether it's ECHL, AHL, again, it's translating to victories. It's, again, translating to a very successful franchise right now. Again, the Colorado Eagles standing overall, they are 10-6-2. Again, puts them second place right now in the Pacific Division, just behind the San Jose Barracuda. So, again, fresh new meat, even though, again, a lot of these pieces transition over from that old Colorado Eagles team and also, too, again, from that old San Antonio Rampage team. Again, meshing very well, getting at least very familiar with their confines there, at least in Windsor, Colorado. And, again, it's translating to a very victorious, again, a hopeful season, and once again for maybe a possible another championship for the Eagles team.
And the nice thing, too, the support that they're getting, as Kevin mentioned, you are getting that support from Loveland, Fort Collins, Greeley, and even to a certain degree,
well, let's be honest,
southeastern Wyoming.
I was going to say, well, there's nothing really going on in Fort Collins right now. Again, are you going to go watch the Rams play football at this point in time? Nah.
Only the Cowboys are in town. That's the only time they ever watch football down there. But the good news is I liked it when he said sellout. That tells me that the product is very, very good, and you definitely need to see it. And then again,
and like you said,
see that product and then go down to Denver.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, there's not a bad seat in the house there at Budweiser. You're right up against the action there, against the glass. And again, like any minor league, if you can draw the parallel to baseball, again, with those minor league productions, kind of similar to what we have with the Cheyenne Stampede, again, they kind of put on those little flares during breaks and intermission. So, again, it's family fun entertainment, but also, too, again, it's just entertainment and, again, fun to watch in general.
All right, we are going to take a time out. I do believe we got another guest headed your way.
Yeah.
And we will have him hopefully right after the break right here on 1480 KRAE.
Totally transformed. The new 2019 Kia Soul has an eye
joins us, of course, the color voice to all Wyoming Cowboys broadcasts, and we're talking hoops as well. We're talking men's hoops and football, and we are into the football season. But the good news is
women in action as well too. Their first game coming up tonight, which we'll talk to Joe Legursky here coming up soon. But
you know, I again with the season here, another break, another bye, and again everybody gets a chance to recharge their batteries. But in the case of the Cowboys, did the bye come at the right time for them, or is it kind of a distraction?
Oh, I think actually, you know, you always say, well, it came at a good time. You'd say it was the second game of the year or the 12th game. But I think it did come at a good time because we got a couple of guys banged up for sure. And so you can always use that type of rest this time of year after, you know, 9 games. Some guys that are a little bit beat up.
You look at the Wyoming Cowboys where it's a pro-style offense, and now it's it's gone a little different now with the addition of Sean Chambers back at the quarterback position. But again, too, I think the Hosses up front, Kevin, they are good north-south blockers, and I think putting Sean in there and adding that running dimension, do we really need to be putting the ball up in the air 30, 40 times a game now?
Well, I would say probably not that, but I don't think you want your quarterback running 20 times a game either. Over the course of a year, you're really putting him out there. But right now, the situation the Cowboys are in, you got to try to win every game, and the way the Cowboys are doing it offensively is to have he and Nico as the 1-2 punch. So I think as he matures and goes along, and I really do think he's got a tremendous upside, he'll become much more of a balanced quarterback and will throw as well as run. It's you know, the guy I was just watching the Monday night game the other night, and they were talking about Mariota. He'd rather run the football, but after a while, you're such a target that the chances continue to rise that you're going to get knocked out of the game. But for the Cowboys right now, the ingredient to win is to have Sean be just an alternative to Nico, and it's working out very well. He's really brought a charge into the offense without a question.
You made a good point there too, especially with option type quarterbacks that we saw a lot with Air Force. You know, you have a guy that specifically is on the quarterback, and anytime he's got his hand on the ball, you are putting a helmet into him. And again, even though Sean's about 6'4", you know, so far he's taken a licking and keeping on ticking. But after a while, that body's going to start wearing down. So with that being said, let's talk about the young man's arm strength. We've seen him throw the football, but not enough to get a very good barometer. But I would think the kid's he's got a cannon as well. Absolutely, Larry.
I mean, he was recruited as a college quarterback because he could make all the throws, and certainly his running ability has helped the offense a great deal. But when asked to throw, he's done a really good job of it. He's very accurate. But I think as you go along here and as he plays more, you feel more confident with him. And I think right now the idea is to get him to run the football and be a compliment to Nico. But people are going to continue to key on that and continue to try to stop that. Well, that's when you throw the football and you know, the old RPO comes out and you give him the run pass option, and he seems to throw very accurately on the run. He hasn't really thrown downfield a whole lot, just a couple times. But as he goes along here and becomes more comfortable, you're going to see more of that. He's a college quarterback. He has a good arm, and he's going to be able to make all the throws. Does he want to run more than pass? I think running is the combination the Cowboys need right now to win right now. but as he goes along in his career here and knows more about the offense and becomes more familiar with it, he'll throw the football enough to be a balanced quarterback.
I want to focus on something that you mentioned earlier, Kevin, at least where the Cowboys focusing on winning the last 2 remaining games, which they certainly can get victories in again with Air Force coming here and then on the road against New Mexico. But, again, that'll put them at that magical 6-win mark if they are to win out and, again, bowl eligible. But my question to you, Kevin, as Mountain West has a lot of talent, at least from other teams, Boise, Utah State, again, a lot of teams that have already kind of stamped their ticket to be bowl eligible at this point in time. We're going to fill those Mountain West bid bowls come postseason time. Is it going to be a little bit tough for the Cowboys once again in that, if they get that 6 wins? Is it something that they're guaranteed a postseason bowl, or is it going to be a little bit tough for them to find some place to play in the postseason?
Well, absolutely, Nick. It's not guaranteed if you win 6 games. All the Cowboys can do is win 6 and become eligible. But you're right. There's teams already very much eligible in your own league, and there's maybe going to be a couple more. I think it's probably going to come down to maybe some of the other conferences not filling all their positions, and so you moving to a bowl that maybe you didn't expect to go to just because there weren't enough to fill some of these other games. But it does not guarantee you in any way. You are eligible, and you're there for bowls to look at. But it absolutely could end up where the Cowboys didn't go anywhere, even though they won 6 games. But you're not going to know that till you win 6. And you've got Hawaii over there. They have to win 7, so they have to win 1 more. If they do, they'll stay right there and be in that bowl. But there's still some weeks to go here and a lot of shifting possibilities. So all you can do is win your 6 games and be there to be eligible and just absolutely hope for the best. But, yeah, there's teams in the conference for sure who already qualified or will qualify and take up some of the bowls that the Mountain West is eligible for. So you'd probably expect that maybe the Cowboys would go to a bowl that we are not expecting, and which would be fine too. It doesn't matter. You just want to go to one, but you got to win these last 2 and be there when the time comes and be ready to go because you're eligible.
So it sounds like we might be seeing some guys in blazers up there next weekend in the press box, because I know they always like to keep an eye on Wyoming because they know that the Cowboy fans like to travel wherever there's a bowl game.
Yeah, there's so many factors now, Larry, and really, honestly, if it's an ESPN bowl, the fact that you travel well isn't as big a priority as it used to be. The ESPN, they're going to carry those games anyway. It's a made-for-television event virtually, and so that isn't as big a priority as it once was. I think how you're finishing your year, what are some of the exciting players you have, who are some of the exciting players you have, those kind of things are now bigger to ESPN than how many people you're bringing. That always was a top priority for a bowl, is to fill the stands with your fans. And so ESPN isn't as interested in that as maybe they used to be, but it's how you finish off. And if the Cowboys can win these last 4 games and obviously be on the uptick, that would be a big positive. But it's not guaranteed in any way, and there's not much you can do about it. You just have to wait and see how it shakes down.
Real quick, I wanted to make a comment on one Nico Evans, our running back for the Cowboys. And again, the one game he missed, correct me if I'm wrong, was Missouri, if I remember right, where he was banged up. But you look at the numbers that Nico has put up throughout the course of the season, and we've seen a lot, and me especially in my time here in 30-some years, we've seen some really good running backs come to the program. But I would have to say the development this season alone of Nico Evans, you'd have to rank him up there with some of the best that I've seen over in the 80s, 90s, and 2010 decades.
Well, I would agree with you. I mean, you're talking about a guy that had, 4 carries a year ago and was sitting on the bench and playing special teams. and to come forward and continue to grow and improve like he has been one of the most remarkable stories I think we've had, and especially at running back, to where he has become one of the nation's most effective backs. Got to give him a lot of credit, which we all do. I mean, he's a very special guy to decide to make himself better. As he's said a number of times, when Brian Hill left and Sean Wicks was done, he took it for granted that he was going to be the next running back, and that didn't happen. And he said, I'd had enough of sitting on the bench, of not playing, and I decided that I was going to do the very best I could and be the most ready I could to have a good senior year. And he's far and away eclipsed that. And I know we're all proud of him, and he should be very proud of himself and what he's accomplished, because it's really amazing how far he's come in a short period.
All right, we're going to focus here real quick. Now, I know this has cost me a pile of money because you're charging me by the minute here just to chat with you. I know your time is always precious, especially for us.
I know the pennies will be coming.
And that's about all I'm worth now is pennies. But let's talk hoops. Last night in the AA, not the outcome that I think everyone was looking for, but also too in a situation like this, not so much the W's and L's, but Coach Edwards needs to find that five and needs to find that rotation off the bench. So it's going to be tiptoe through the tulips, so to speak, and then maybe a month or two down the road, and we'll figure out how this rotation is going to be.
Well, it's tough, and that was really tough last night. That was a hard thing to watch when you're shooting as poorly as the Cowboys were. It's not a pretty sight, and then to have Hunter Thompson get hit like he did, knocked out of the game, that didn't help any. It's tough right now because I think it comes to the point you've got now a bunch of new guys that you don't trust totally yet, and so you gotta get them in there at some point and see what they can do. I think that Allen is at that point right now, especially since they're shorthanded without Naughton and Thompson. So there's going to be some guys that are going to be thrown in there, whether they're quite ready or not. They're going to make some mistakes, but they're also going to be doing some really good things because you recruited them and thought they were good athletes, and so they're going to have to show that. And that's where the Cowboys are. Last night, you got to expect that a team is not going to shoot that poorly, hopefully anymore. And as we talked last night, the team settled for shots that's not good. They've got to get over that and take good shots and good high percentage shots. They were kind of just settling for whatever was available, and that's not the way you want to play. So 5 of 29 from the arc, you guys, is not going to work. There are going to be very many teams that way. So some of that, the guys were not hitting shots. Some of them were just poor shot selection. So
we saw something like that similar in Sterling, Colorado last night when we were doing LCCC and NJC.
It was a little rough of what LCCC. Numbers were a little elevated compared to what Wyoming was dealing with. But we saw that too.
And even from 15 feet, it was really tough for them as well. Real quick, you mentioned Hunter Thompson. Let's get the update on him. What can you share with us on Hunter?
Well, Hunter is in concussion protocol, which is a tough thing, but he did not break his jaw, which was what everybody was worried about. They thought that could be a possibility, and obviously, had that have happened, he would have been out for a while. But the X-rays came back negative, and so he's very sore. I just talked to him a little while ago. He said that he had a hard time opening his mouth this morning when he woke up, but he's feeling a lot better. He's just going to have to go through that concussion deal, and who knows how long that's going to take. You hope not as long as some do, and we'll hope for the best to get him back out because he's shown that he can play, and he's going to be a good asset to the program. But that was pretty scary there for a little bit when he got hit because he he told me he didn't even know that he was in the locker room there for a while. He said, I can't remember the play. Everything kind of went blank there. So they'll go through that concussion deal and make sure that he's ready to go, but at least he didn't break anything and is going to be shelved because of that.
All right, Kevin. Well, we appreciate you giving us a few minutes of your time today, and again, looking forward to catching up with you over in the Gem City, or if you want to come over, lunch is still on me.
You can hand deliver him the bill as well too. Again, remember care of Larry, because again he's the owner, so make sure that he's paying you.
Yeah, it will not say Nick on it. Don't worry.
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
okay, guys.
He's cheap.
Good talking to you.
All right, take care, Kevin. We'll see you around.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right, Kevin McKinney, UW Senior Associate Athletic Director, joining us here on 1480 KRAE, again talking football and most recently hoops. And again, to 100 Thompson from Pine Bluffs. Again, welcome to D1 basketball. Not that you want to go that route into the concussion protocol, but again, a lot different than the old high school days. We are going to take a timeout. We will come back with more Wyoming Sports Talk today after these words right here in 1480 KRAE.
Bad cough or the flu got you down? Dr. Howard Willis, with over 23 years of medical experience, is now your local physician for family health and primary care. Located at 1616 East 19th Street with Dr. Joseph Dobson, Dr. Willis offers that wise counsel to get you back on the road to good health. DOTs and walk-ins are always welcome. So next time a bad cold or flu grabs you, call Dr. Willis at 631-8430. That's 631-8430.
You can actually get something good for your health at a drive-through window. When you order your next prescription from Medicap Pharmacy, call ahead and use our drive-through window. Or you can call for free delivery. You can even log on to Medicap.com and order a prescription refill. Your Medicap pharmacist will call you to make arrangements for pickup or delivery.
Medicap Pharmacy will always make time for you.
Medicap Pharmacy, 1947 Bluegrass Circle, next to Texas Roadhouse in Cheyenne. Or call 635-3712.
Cheyenne Regional Cancer Services now offers genetic risk assessment and counseling that may help determine your chance of being diagnosed with cancer. If you have a personal or family history of cancer, especially cancer diagnosed under age 50, you may benefit from a consultation to look out for your now and your family's future. For more information about our genetic risk cancer assessment and counseling service, please call 307-634-9311.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
For today, it'll be partly sunny with a chance of snow showers with highs around 36. For tonight, it'll be mostly cloudy with a chance of snow showers throughout the evening with lows around 19. On Thursday, it'll be partly sunny with highs around 32. And on Thursday night, it'll be mostly clear with lows around 16.
You bleed brown and gold? So do we. Wyoming Cowboys football and basketball is always front and center on this show. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it's here on AM 1480 KRAE.
We are back on Wyoming Sports Talk Today. Busy first hour. It looks like the second hour is going to be just as busy. So with that all being said, we got some tickets we got to get to. We got to give them away. So, Nick, you got the fishbowl of awesomeness around?
I have it to the right of me, but we can also announce of who's going to be coming up in the 4 o'clock hour because, again, I kept it busy, so I didn't have to listen to you today. But at least
not much for me to say today.
Any of your lame kind of opinions. But coming up at least at the top of the 4 o'clock hour, we will hear from Cowgirls basketball head coach Joe Legursky. We'll get his thoughts as they will get underway with their first contest coming up tonight at home. They're in the Arena Auditorium hosting Chadron State. That is going to be a tip-off time of around 6:30 tonight. And then also, too, at 4:30, it is time for the Cheyenne Stampede Coaches Show, where we will have head coach Neil Breen in studio with us. And then also, too, Cheyenne Stampede player as well on today's show. But, yes, as you mentioned, again, I will grab that fishbowl of awesomeness so you might...
That's it? Yeah, go ahead. Yeah. Oh no. See, it's all right when you do it, but when you speak English as a second,
because again, I look at you and then I just
Don't look at me. I'm ugly. I
You're
mean, we've seen that.
Clearly.
We've seen that on the film. I'm really getting really ticked off at you. I don't want to be seen on our videos. Nobody wants to see this. I scare children with this no-nose that I have.
I think that was evident as well, too, from the YouTube broadcast last night with the little kids kind of staring at you. I'm just... You could see that, again, that broadcast as well, too, of last night. Again, do apologize for the live stream. Again, the Verizon unit had a little difficulty kind of getting into the building there at Sterling, Colorado. So, again, live stream was a little bit rough going, but did record it. And
yeah, Coach Vick has already watched it, so he's okay.
Well, I'm just saying, again, the uploaded version, again, the clean version is live on the 1480 KRAE YouTube channel. If you do want to at least watch, if you did not happen to catch last night's contest between LCCC and NJC, again, it is live right now on our 1480 KRAE YouTube channel. Anyways, though, ticket giveaway, as we've been doing at least this week, and we'll continue on tomorrow, as we're giving away a pair of tickets to go see the Cheyenne Stampede, as they will be at home hosting the Ogden Mustangs coming up at the Ice and Event Center, 5:30, puck drop on Friday and Saturday, 1 o'clock on Sunday, as it's a 3-game homestand. It is Military Appreciation Weekend as well, too, hosted by the Cheyenne Stampede. So thank you all who entered on the Facebook side, who shared, liked, and favorited that post on the Facebook side. Again, all those entries will retain to tomorrow's giveaway as well. For today, we'll be giving away Saturday's pair of tickets to go see the Stampede and the Mustangs, along with 2 goodies to go see our friends at Chick-fil-A at the corner of Delrange and Windmill. So our winner for today will be, as I got a few entries here, hold on, let's get one. It will be Cassandra Clark. Cassandra Clark will be our winner. So congratulations to you. I will notify you on the Facebook side. I'll private message you of how you come by and pick up your pair of tickets to go see the Stampede coming up this Saturday as they take on the Ogden Mustangs at 7:35.
All right, sounds good. And we thank the Cheyenne Stampede, too, for giving us those tickets to give
and
away.
Tomorrow, as we've given away Friday's pair, Saturday's pair today, tomorrow we'll give away Sunday's pair of tickets.
And that puck drops in the afternoon.
1 o'clock.
1 o'clock. Again, and I do want to, in advance, before he comes on board here, because they have a game tonight.
That's what I just said earlier.
But in advance, we want to say thank you to Joe Legursky, saving some time for us for this afternoon on Wyoming Sports Talk today, so we won't keep them too long. And then we also have our coaches show.
As I said,
with Neil Breen. No, I'm just reminding everybody.
5 minutes ago.
I'm reminding everybody about that because you went on forever giving away the tickets.
Sorry. Again, I care about people going and seeing the Stampede.
We
got to fill up those seats there at the Ice and Event Center.
Well, absolutely. Do want to remind you tomorrow it'll be LCCC's Coaches Show. We will have Brian Ortmeyer in first in the 4 o'clock hour. He will be bringing in
a player to be announced.
And then we'll have Coach Jason Fick in. He'll have Hayden Collier, the sophomore from Rangoria, New Zealand, joining us on our program. And, going back to the game last night, first off, Brian Ortmeyer's team, they went down to Colorado Springs and crushed the Air Force Prep. Yeah. And that was a big win. Matter of fact, they'll have them up here.
Our first contest with the women will be Air Force Prep coming up next Tuesday, the 13th, as this weekend will be at least away from LCCC.
We're just going to recharge our batteries, with the football season.
Yeah.
And we had left this weekend open on purpose in case one of our 3 high schools had made it to the championship.
Which should have been Cheyenne.
Yeah, we missed that one by 3.9 seconds at least.
Yeah. But again, our first at least opportunity to see the women's at least program will be coming up again next Tuesday, the 13th, here in town, as they will host the Air Force Prep team. The contest, I do believe, tip-off for that game is 5 o'clock, so it would be about 4:40-ish, at least pregame show here on 1480 AM, 101.1 FM, 1480krae.com, and also, too, again, live streaming. We know it will work here in town in Cheyenne, at least on the Periscope and YouTube side. So, again, 5 different ways to tune in for LCCC women's basketball as they host Air Force Prep. Again, a team that they whipped on. And my conversation today as I went over to the campus to talk with Brian Ortmeyer, he was very happy with his performance. Again, the team was shooting from kind of lights out from behind the perimeter. Defense kept this Prep team pretty quiet the entire night. That Prep team did have a few little runs as team, at least for the Lady Golden Eagles, got a little tired, got a little winded down there. But overall, again, a 30-point victory. Coach Brian Ortmeyer will certainly at least take it, and we'll talk about it more coming up tomorrow on the LCCC Coaches Show.
And we were down in Sterling last night bringing you LCCC and the NJC Plainsmen.
It was, again, summarize of that contest.
Tough.
It was
tough.
Both teams were kind of shaking off the cobwebs. Again, kind of getting the preseason jitters out of them. Again, neither team played really phenomenal. If anything, I would give
the defense was a lot better for LCCC.
I would say defense as well too for NJC as well was a little bit at least stingy, a little tough on the LCCC shooters, where again they were daring LCCC to shoot from behind the arc, where again they were pretty tight, at least knit, again man-to-man defense on the perimeter, and they just basically dared LCCC to shoot. Where I mean there was minutes, 5, 6, 7 minutes where a single point was not on the board, was not scored by LCCC, and even with free throw attempts. The last night offense was just so hard to come by for the LCCC Golden Eagles.
Did see some good defense out there with David Applegren. He's the 7-footer. He made his presence known inside. If you're going to try to drive down the lane, you're going to get swatted away.
And I would say,
matter of fact, Hayden Collier
I was
did
going
a
to say
couple swats as well. So they did control the boards on that defensive side last night. Unfortunately, and Coach Fickle was pretty. You're more upbeat than anything on our post-game show, where he mentioned that, hey, we held them to just 71 points, and if we would have made our free throws, this game's a lot closer.
Oh yeah,
and some of the shot selections were not the greatest last night.
Yeah, LCCC had a point in time in that contest as well, and I do believe about halfway through the second half, cut down the lead where it was well out of hand at the beginning. Yeah, at least it was at the beginning of that second half, about a 15-point or
25-10, yeah.
Yeah, again, it got a little out of hand, but LCCC had a little bit of a run, chipped at it, got it down to a 2-point deficit, and then things just went quiet where I do believe NJC went on about a 12-0 run that lasted for about 5 minutes in that second half and just basically blew that game wide open for the, at least, Plainsmen. But LCCC, they had their chances. They certainly had their chances last night to, if not take the lead, if not also to win it. But again, a lot of miscues at the free throw line, a little mental errors as well too, again, coughing up the ball every once in a while. But what we saw was NJC took advantage of some turnovers where LCCC had difficulties. And neither team played really phenomenal last night.
Right. I want to switch from basketball real quick to baseball, because you brought this to my attention last night.
All right.
I am not happy right now.
Why?
I can't believe that the Giants would hire a guy that has Dodgers connections.
So he if anything, took him away from the Dodgers. So they now have to find a new.
Ferran Ziade is now the new president of baseball operations in San Francisco. He leaves the Dodgers after 4 years working under team president Andrew Friedman. The Dodgers have, by the way, made the World Series each of the past 2 seasons.
Have lost it as well, too. Let's not forget
that. But actually, though, Ziade returns to Northern California, where he worked for the A's as an assistant general manager before joining the Dodgers in 2000.
He's well aware of Bay Area baseball and also, too, again, the state of California.
Yeah, but he worked for the Dodgers.
Who cares? He's now a part of this, at least, franchise. So, again, a franchise that is looking to do everything to get back on top. Again, this is a team that's going to do anything and everything to revamp this team. New faces will be a part of it. One being, so far, the Giants being called out as favorites to possibly land. One, Bryce Harper from the Nationals, as we learned that he turned down a massive
10-year, $300 million deal.
Would have been the either second or third largest deal in MLB history.
$30 million per year, and said, not interested.
Tells you how much, again, Nationals, by not winning, having difficulties in the postseason, kind of wear it on, at least kind of wore on his psyche a bit. And do I dare say it's kind of a parallel of what I anticipate with Nolan Arenado?
I don't know.
Is the money worth it, or is it, do you want to win champions?
I don't know. That one is still up for grabs. I know we need to slip into the 4 o'clock hour.
Yes.
And one other note, Told you, Philly's going to be hot and heavy on Machado. And
Good for them.
Already the
let them
talks
deal
are
with
in
that
place.
head case.
Yeah, and that's basically what a lot of teams don't want to deal with, his head case. All right, we are going to step aside here for just a few ticks of the clock and then come on back. Joe Legurski joins us in a few minutes.
This is 1480 KRAE Cheyenne.
Also being heard on translator K266CC Cheyenne at 101.1 FM.
What you are about to hear is a sports talk radio show unlike any other that has ever before been broadcast in the capital city of Cheyenne, Wyoming, USA. This is Cheyenne, Wyoming's Sports Talk Authority. The Wyoming Cowboys, the Denver Broncos, the Colorado Rockies, and the Denver Nuggets. The show is local, it's regional, and yes, the show is national as well. Wyoming Sports Talk Today is on the air. If they're talking sports on the radio in Cheyenne, this is the place it happens. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
Hour number 2 of Wyoming Sports Talk Today being brought to you by Taco John's of Cheyenne, Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service on Highway 30, Chick-fil-A at the corner of Windmill and Delrange right across from Menards, Key of Cheyenne on Nation Way, Flat Valley Bank ×2, the original location on Vanda High, the east side location at the corner of College and Pershing, Medicap Pharmacy, right next door to Texas Roadhouse on Bluegrass Circle, Lennox Auto Body, the main repair center over on Dunn Avenue, the Auto Glass and Detail Center on Pershing Boulevard, First Tier Bank at 1508 Stillwater Avenue, across the street at 1507 Stillwater Avenue, Suite D, the Greenway Commons, it's Mondello's Pizzeria. And we want to thank Marv's Plumbing Heating at 1515 Logan Avenue. Well, let's check in with our scoreboard here in hour number 2. We'll first go to Nick, and our scoreboard is brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne.
Are you just having moments just left and right? You kind of pause there. It's like I'm still waiting on our scoreboard sponsor.
Well, I said Pepsi of Cheyenne.
It took you a while. No,
Well,
you went from Marv's, you paused, and then you waited.
You know why? I have some water here in front of me, and a burp bubble came up. Do you want me to burp on the air? I don't think so.
You're just making up excuses at this point in time. Anyways, though, LCCC, as we mentioned, in action, men and women. We'll start on the men's side, as they were down in Sterling, Colorado, taking on Northeastern Junior College. Against the Plainsmen, they did lose that contest 71-55, so for LCCC, they moved to 1-2 overall. Women in action in Colorado Springs, taking on Air Force Prep. They won that contest 83-53, so for the women, they moved to 2-1 overall. NHL action for tonight. Pittsburgh Penguins in the Capital One Arena taking on the Washington Capitals. You can see that game on NBC Sports Network at 5:30. Right after that game gets done on NBC Sports Network down at the Pepsi Center, the Colorado Avalanche will host the Nashville Predators. Calgary Flames in Honda Center taking on the Anaheim Ducks in the Pond. That's what's happening NHL action for tonight.
On the NBA scoreboard, Thunder and the Cavaliers tonight. In the Quicken Loans Arena, it will be the Pistons and the Magic. They will meet up in the Amway Center in Orlando, Florida. The Knicks will travel to Atlanta, GA to take on the Hawks in the State Farm Arena, American Airlines Arena in Miami, Florida, with the Miami Heat hosting the San Antonio Spurs. 76ers and the Pacers tonight. In Indianapolis, the Nuggets, looking for their 10th win of the season against only one loss, will be in the FedEx Forum against the Memphis Grizzlies. It will be the Pelicans in the Smoothie King Arena in New Orleans. They will host the Chicago Bulls. Mavericks and the Jazz hook up in Salt Lake City. Raptors and the Kings in Sacramento at the Golden One Center in Sacramento. And tonight at Staples, the late night game will have the Timberwolves and the Lakers battling in Los Angeles, California. Our scoreboard brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne.
Yo, this is your cup holder talking. You know me, the little round thing between your car seats. Now, listen, we need to talk.
get there. An unwritten experience awaits. Be bold, be prepared, be inspired. Your story unfolds. Laramie County Community College. Visit lccc.wi.edu to start your story today.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
For today, it'll be partly sunny with a chance of snow showers with highs around 36. For tonight, it'll be mostly cloudy with a chance of snow showers throughout the evening with lows around 19. On Thursday, it'll be partly sunny with highs around 32. And on Thursday night, it'll be mostly clear with lows around 16.
Got something to say? Then get it off your chest right now. Phone lines are open at 307-514-1071. Make your opinion count and call the show. Wyoming Sports Talk today.
We're back on Wyoming Sports Talk today. We have the pleasure of talking with Wyoming Cowgirls basketball head coach Joe Legursky as we bring him on. Matter of fact, Coach has a game tonight. Chadron State Eagles will be at the AA. They'll tap at 6:30. So I know we're probably interfering with some of his meditation time before he gets ready for tonight's game, but we do appreciate
little Zen moments, at least preparation.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Going up through the mantras of beat the Eagles, absolutely. Something like that, right, Coach?
I tell you what, I've been doing this long enough to know the preparation is done. If I got to do something right now, we're in bigger trouble than what we may be. The only thing I always tell my players are always saying, Coach, you're superstitious about this stuff. We do this, we do that, and I go, that's not superstition. That's just mannerisms. So that's my way of trying to get around feeling comfortable before we play.
I look back when you first came on the position, 03-04 season, and here it is. We look ahead towards the 2018-19 season, Coach. The years have flown by, and I mean, does it ever sink in that, wow, you've been behind you've been walking the sidelines there at the Arena Auditorium for that many years?
Yeah, it really does. I remember when I ended up getting the job. My wife was a little nervous. I was leaving a very, what I should say, a comfortable, safe situation where we won all the time. I was a top assistant, and we take this job, and she's going, so what are we going to do if you don't win and they terminate you? And I said, hey, we can't think in those terms. We got to try to figure out where we're headed, try to get this thing going, and I cannot believe I'm starting my 16th year. It's still a joy to go out and do this every day, and I know my family has asked me several times, when is it going to be it? When's it going to be done for you? And I think the answer for that is when I do not enjoy it, and I enjoy being around the players. I enjoy going to practice. The games get a little stressful all the time, and I think every coach would say that. But for the most part, I've really enjoyed the time, and Wyoming's treated me very well, and so have the fans of Wyoming.
Yeah, I was going to say, again, that translates to your players and as well to the fans that keep on showing up to the Arena Auditorium. And, again, they love the product as well, too. Again, I'll even go back to last year's, at least, Mountain West tournament where, again, a good brown and gold contingent to watch the Cowgirls compete in the Mountain West tournament all the way out there in Las Vegas, Nevada. Again, they love watching what you and your team put on the court each and every night.
Well, thank you. When you start talking about 2003-04, I remember walking in and finding out they drew about 350, 400 fans on the average. We had 16 season ticket holders, and we talked about how we had to try to change some things, and was even asked if we'd play in the Uni-Wyo because it was a smaller facility. And, we talked about everything, and so now we're, over 1,000 season ticket holders. We had 2,900 in our exhibition game show up, and I think the fans have really enjoyed watching the team over the years, and it just leaves me to where I read a story the other day where people just talk about with college athletics, it definitely is about the university, the school, and the players change from year to year to year, and but Wyoming's Wyoming. And I think we've established ourselves, and all our sports have. I ended up seeing where wrestling has set a record in season ticket sales. Volleyball plays in front of a full house. So does football, men's basketball is on the rise up with ticket sales. So there's a lot of positive things, but at the end I tell them, the fans, thank you very much, because you're the ones that make a difference for us.
Coach, I like how you use the word UniYO. I think back in our day when you first arrived, it was the MPG, if I remember right.
You are correct. It sure was.
Don't want to age us now, do I? Joe Legursky, Wyoming Cowgirls basketball head coach, joining us. You know, Coach, I'm going to ask you this, and I had the opportunity to talk with our local coaches since we cover LCCC on this side here. I've talked with Coach Ortmeyer on the Lady Golden Eagle side, and most recently Jason Ficka last night. For coaching today, it seems like, yes, the season is here, but correct me if I'm wrong, isn't recruiting almost an all-year process now, especially at the D1 level?
It really is. People ask me sometimes when the year's over, so what do you do now for the next 6 months? And it's just constantly trying to get your team better. I know a week from today, we're going to sign players in the 2019 graduating class. And we'll release those names next week. But we're already working on 2020. And we've had some kids visit campus unofficially that are 2020. We've had kids visit that are 2021 unofficially. We can't bring them in officially. They show up on our campus. So when you're thinking about that, you're looking at sophomores in this area, in the state of Wyoming, Colorado, that are already taking a look at universities, and we're making decisions on players that are, like I said, a sophomore in high school, about whether or not we think she can play at our level. And so it just never ends. It's become highly competitive. People have basically staffs that just try to keep recruiting, sending information out. We look at social media as a big part of everything we do, and how much can we get the Wyoming name out and in front of people. And when you look at our roster, you know, we're as close as Worland, Wyoming with Tommy Olson, and we go, you know, over halfway around the world to end up finding Teresa Vitalova. And so that is so important to social media, but there's never a day off in basketball anymore.
You know, and thanks to technology, and I'm glad you brought that up, because you just can't hop aboard the Airbus 360 and, you know, fly, you know, across the pond and even down to Australia all the time and talk to potential recruits. So, again, a lot of technology involved. How much of that technology is in use in your life right now as a head coach and looking at potential talent?
Boy, it is constantly. It is the way, as we always say, how do our recruits communicate? And it is through social media, whether that's Instagram, Twitter is what we talk about. You're very aware of that. We're able to broadcast all our games. And so all of a sudden, families anywhere can get an opportunity to get on their computer and watch the games. So it is becoming bigger and bigger all the time. I know I have, you know, brothers that look at me that are not in the coaching business, and they're just surprised that I have a Twitter account. And they go, what do you do? And I just tell them how much it's used for work. And it's just something that we're very aware of. And I think it constantly changes because, as I said, you have to figure out where your recruits are getting their information, how they want to get their information, and then you're always putting your best foot forward for the University of Wyoming.
Coach, how much of the personal element is being taken away these days? And again, you know, you're getting the best talent to come to Laramie, and I think that's very important. But the visits, you know, I know back in my days with baseball and having a coach come to my house and mom and dad are having dinner and we're sitting there talking. Are those days kind of come and gone now? Is I don't know how much of this has become more business with the technical part of it, but do you kind of miss those days where you can't visit every home and talk with these young ladies?
You know what? I really do. As I said, I've been doing this now. This is falling into, as I start really dating myself, this is my 32nd year at the Division I level. And I remember that, as you said, the biggest thing, and we still try to implement some of this stuff that I used to use 30 years ago. But if you ask me, probably one of the biggest things I miss is that home phone. Because now you reach everybody through their cell phone. And when you had a home phone, whoever picked that phone up, you talked to. And you had an opportunity to talk to mom and dad, and maybe you were talking to a brother or a sister. And you were selling to everybody in the family. And so, as I always say, that we're in a people's business, and yet we're getting further and further away because of technology. And so it's just easier, I know now, for my staff to text a recruit because they'll respond back to that rather than call. And so one of the things we talk a great deal about is still trying to make that personal. I know we've been getting into home visits again, but we bring some of our technology with us. So probably back in your day when you're talking about it, my day, we had more handouts that we gave everybody, and we had a book that had all kinds of pictures in it. Now we bring in an iPad and show you the same pictures, but in better color. And so I'm trying always to make sure we still have that personal touch with the family, but it is more difficult with the technology.
Absolutely.
And on that iPad, you can do little filters and all sorts of fun stuff. But either way, though, Coach, as you talk again, a personnel or at least a people business, as again, basketball, what we'll encourage right now, again, a game coming up tonight at the AA, as it is your first regular season contest against Chadron State. 6:30 tip-off time there at the AA. For you, Coach, as we're talking about recruiting and at least kind of looking towards the future, but let's talk about currently for the Wyoming Cowgirls. Did lose some pieces from last year's team, but did retain a lot of familiar faces, whether it is Bailey Cotton, whether it is Taylor Russ, whether it is also to Marta Gomez. But just for the folks, kind of introduce or just talk about your team of who are we expecting to see on the court coming up this season?
Well, I'm going to touch earlier when you talked about the faces we lost. And, I start with Liv Roberts, who was the Mountain West Conference Player of the Year. And most people will ask me, well, who's replacing Liv? You just don't replace a Player of the Year. That's a challenge. So we're going to try to do it collectively. And you're right about Taylor Russ, Bailey Cotton, Marta Gomez. They have to have a big part of everything, and we'll have a big part of what we're doing. Now we're down because we have a different scenario with our class makeup. We have 6 seniors, and we have 6 freshmen with a couple kids in between. And I think a lot of that depends on scholarships, where you're trying to fill needs, but it's a weird combination of kids. So every day in practice, the 6 seniors look pretty good at what we're doing. And then we got to take a step back with our 6 freshmen. But our freshmen are going to play. And on the guard line, we have Carla and Quinn, 2 players, one from Croatia, one from Nebraska. And they both have the ability to play multiple positions, whether it's a 1, 2, 3. Both play way beyond their freshman year, but they're still freshmen. But they're exciting, and you're going to see Carla starting tonight for us because the injury bugs hit us pretty good this year, and that's what's decimated some of us, where we're counting on freshmen. I mentioned Teresa earlier. She had a double-double in the post, 6'2" post player that played extremely well in our exhibition. But where we lost somebody was Shalali. Was a 4 player we had from Turkey. Shalali ended up in the European Championships having an ACL injury. So she is out for this season, and she was becoming a big part of what we were doing. And then Slajana. Slajana is a senior for us this year. She had a tendon issue. She was projected to be our starting 3 to replace Liv. She was out for 2 months. We got her back here for about 10 days, and she broke a finger. And she had a pin today, so she is out for another 6 to 8 weeks. So we're going to rely on some of these young players. So I encourage people when they come over, our programs are free. pick one up because you're going to have to need it to try to figure out everybody that's in the basketball game right now.
Coach, the exhibition against Western State Colorado University, I don't look at the numbers, and yes, you did pick up a W. Obviously, if you look at the numbers, say, man, defense was really shined. But your take on that exhibition, and again, you have a chance to have a lot of looks out there in these type of conditions when you're taking on a team like Western State. So, what did you come away with after that contest?
You're right about that. One of the things we wanted to do was to just see who we are. And we played some different combinations. I thought defensively, anytime you hold somebody to 15% shooting, you did a pretty good job with what you wanted to do. But as you know, as a coach, you go back through and you start evaluating everything and going, okay, we're open on that shot. They just missed it. This little 15% ratio, we didn't defend as well as we could have. And that's something that all of a sudden you go back into the film and break down. What I liked was that we got out in transition and pushed the pace of the game. And more importantly, outside of Bailey Cotton, we're trying to figure out who can play in the post. And we had Teresa and Michelle. Michelle's a senior from Nebraska. Both of them, Teresa had a double-double herself with 14 and 12. Rochelle came in with 8 points and 5 rebounds. So if I can get basically 20 points and 10 rebounds out of the 5 spot, we're going to do a good job all year. But yet, both kids have very little experience, and so that's going to be a challenge for us. And all in all, it was a good game. But as I said, even with the games early in November, I'm more worried about Wyoming tonight than I am about Shadron State. We play at St. Mary's on Friday. That'll be a big challenge. They're a powerhouse in the West Coast Conference, but once again, I'm worried about are we doing the right things to get us ready for January, specifically since we have to use so many freshmen.
Well, Coach, we wish you all the best, and again, we thank you for taking some time out, especially as you get in preparation for tonight's game, and hopefully we'll get a chance to catch up with you throughout the course of the season.
Gentlemen, I appreciate it. As I always say, there's the things about being interviewed, and the person asking the question sure can make it easier on the person answering. And you're both very top-notch professionals that do that. So, yeah, I'd be on anytime you call. Even game day, I'll get on because I just appreciate you being able to get out to the Wyoming fans and let them know what's going on with Cowgirl basketball.
All the best to you, Coach. Good luck tonight against Shadron State.
Thank you. See you now.
Take care. Head coach Joe Legursky, Wyoming Cowgirls basketball head coach. Join us on Wyoming Sports Talk today. It has been a busy program, and we still
continues on.
More to come. Also, too, we want to congratulate our winner again of the tickets to the Stampede because that's going to lead into our next segment.
Again, winner of our Saturday's pair of tickets to go see the Stampede versus Ogden Mustangs is Cassandra Clark. Again, congratulations to you. Again, I will notify you on the Facebook side of how you come by and pick up your prize pack to go see the Stampede in action. Again, coming up this weekend, it's a big series, as we will hear from head coach Neil Breen. Again, you're bringing in the top dogs, the undefeated Mustangs.
And again, I think this is the time, too. If you haven't made any plans, and again, ticket prices are very reasonable to, take a family of 4 out there.
Yeah.
And again, cheer on the Cheyenne Stampede. It's good hockey action, and even the teams that come in are very good.
And again,
teams
it's a full production, as we mentioned. Again, also too, GM Mark Lance has mentioned. Again, it is a full minor league.
And we honor the military like everybody else is doing in the month of November.
And we'll talk
Veterans
more with
Day
Neil
coming
Breen
up
about
on
that.
Monday.
At least that series.
So again, if you haven't made any plans, you got 3 opportunities. Matter of fact, make all 3 opportunities this weekend. Friday night, 7:35, puck drops. 7:35 Saturday, 1 o'clock over at the Cheyenne Ice and Event Center. And again, every seat is a great seat when you watch the Cheyenne Stampede. Speaking of the Stampede, our coaches show coming up after we take care of a little business right here in 1480 KRAE.
Taco John's presents Olay the Day Pep Talks.
All right, good half of football, boys. Now, good is good, but we can always be better. Look at Taco John's. They took those tasty little potato lays and loaded them up with bacon and ranch and all kinds of good stuff. They made something good even better.
Taco John's new loaded potato olays are loaded with craveable toppings for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and even dessert.
So olay the day, boys, and play like you're making loaded potato lays.
Olay the day at Taco John's.
Check out the huge savings this week at Town & Country Supermarket Liquors. Here are just a few of the terrific weekly specials. Check out these super buys heard only right here. Sailor Jerry Spiced Rum, 1.75 liter bottle, $20.69. Jose Cuervo Gold or Silver Tequila, 1.75 liter bottle, $27.89. And Corona, 24-pack of 12-ounce bottles, $27.99. Town & Country Supermarket Liquors on the South Greeley Highway, Cheyenne's low-price leader.
The 2018 Kia Stinger can be your dream vehicle come to life. I'm AJ Miller, and we have the impressive 2018 Kia Stinger here at Kia of Cheyenne. The Kia Stinger comes with choice of 2 turbocharged engines, giving the Stinger strong performance at a budget-friendly price. This car is tough to beat with numerous standard features and comparably priced lower than other vehicles in its class. You need to come to Kia of Cheyenne and drive the Stinger today. Call us at 775-0123 or go to KiaofCheyenne.com and we'll make it easy.
Due to our stormy season this summer, Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service is offering you a hail of a deal on a wide variety of travel trailers, including toy haulers. Get up to an additional 50% off MSRP on Jolly Rogers' already low prices. Check out their new and used inventory. Damaged or not, you can still travel in style. Call Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service today, your exclusive Jayco dealer, at 634-8457. See them at 6102 U.S. Highway 30 or go to JollyRogersRV.com.
If it happens on the diamond, the hardwood, the field, or even the ice, we'll talk about it on Wyoming Sports Talk today. Hi, this is Nick Peretti inviting you to join Larry Peretti and myself each weekday from 3 to 5 p.m. as we, along with our special guests, talk sports locally, regionally, and nationally. And you can chat with us too at 307-514-1071. It's Wyoming Sports Talk today only on 1480 KRAE, and you can stream live with us at 1480KRAE.com.
Hi, I'm Alex White, tea master at Pure Leaf. When I make tea, everything I know goes into it. You can't be impatient. When I craft Pure Leaf iced tea, I don't take shortcuts, because I want you to have the same amazing taste of iced tea that I do. So I start with fresh picked tea leaves. Then, after they're delicately dried, I blend and brew them at a lower temperature to draw out their unique aromas. And then I taste and fine-tune the blend for a delicious smooth iced tea. I'd love to have you take a sip right now, but that's one thing we can't do over the radio. But you can experience the same delicious taste of Pure Leaf iced tea anywhere you are. I'm Alex White, Pure Leaf Tea Master. Pure Leaf, our thing is tea.
Are you tired of paying ATM fees? Hi, this is Rick Flood, president of Platte Valley Bank in Cheyenne. Use your Platte Valley Bank ATM or Visa debit card at any ATM anywhere. We won't charge you a fee on our end, and we'll reimburse any fee you incur at any other ATM. That's right, no ATM fees at Platte Valley Bank. How about that? Platte Valley Bank, 3310 North College Drive and 421 Van High Avenue, or pvbank.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
You can count on Platte Valley Bank. Community banking for you.
Here the season never ends. From Wyoming sports to the Broncos in Denver. From Rockies baseball to talking hoops with Nuggets basketball. Local, regional, and national. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today, right here on AM 1480 KRAE.
Somebody turn my microphone off.
There you go. How about its user error like everything else has been with you today?
Somebody's messed with it there.
You're the only one that sits at that mic, so
I haven't touched it whenever.
You see
but
what
anyway, we are talking now. It is time, because I don't want to waste time going back and forth with you.
Being around you is a waste
It is
of
our
time.
Cheyenne Stampede coaches show, and we will.
We were going to grill you, Coach, but I feel like grilling him right now.
Yeah, let's grill Larry.
Yeah,
today.
absolutely. Get the technical side, but again, we'll just kind of get it out of the way right now and start out things on the road. West Valley City against Utah Outliers. Again, still looking for that first victory on this season. Again, not first two contests against Utah, at least kind of similar to what we've seen throughout the season. Sunday, at least, and again, as we talked, at least I was speaking with you off air, kind of had a feeling of what we were seeing last year. Almost, it felt like the team kind of regressed a few bit.
Yeah, fell apart on Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday we ran out of gas. We had on Friday, Saturday we were our typical selves. We went hard for 40, 45 minutes and played to our identity and protected pucks, possessed pucks. Created offense the right way, and then so towards the end, our bottom guys just weren't running, and when that happens, you heavy on your top six, and they start to tire out, and the other team identifies you're using the top six, so they start to bang them, and then it becomes kind of a it's a motivating thing you're trying to light fires at that point and keep the guys going.
Well, let me keep on that theme, though, or at least that key word of motivating. Again, obviously keeping those players, their minds kind of straight, at least trying to focus away from all this kind of negativity, at least of what's been the beginning of the season. But it's something that I want to ask you coaches also to kind of for your psyche as a coach as well. Again, you're still this is still your team. You're still a part of what's happening with the Cheyenne Stampede, but I mean, is there ways for you to kind of just take a step back, just kind of breathe a bit? I mean, what do you do to kind of motivate yourself, per se, to at least kind of focus on series by series?
Well, I mean, I try to celebrate the positives. Like we have, we're not the youngest team in the league this year like we were last year, but we are still young. And sometimes I got to sit back and remember that there's guys that we have that we're relying on to be our top guys, and they're still young. A couple of them, 3, 4 of them this is their first year of junior hockey. So, and you don't become a good junior hockey player in 10, 12 games necessarily. I mean, if you're not playing in the Western States Hockey League, if you're picking it up that quickly, you're at the next level or committed to a college or something like that. So, I to motivate myself is sitting back and saying, you know what, like I got to celebrate the positives here. We're a very good team when we play to our identity, and and I got to stay kind of grounded in the brass tacks and say, hey, you know what, like here's what we got to do to be successful. Like today, I think was a good step for us in practice. We really worked on being powerful below the dots and net drives and protecting pucks and clearing net fronts and doing the things that we need to do to win. And I guess maybe in a small sense, like maybe I was kind of aiming in the wrong direction. I was upon self-reflection, maybe I was thinking, well, let's really ride these skill guys and hope we create a lot of offense, and in fact I need to be focused more on our defense and more on simplicity.
Well, Coach, again, you can't go 60 minutes with just 11 guys.
No,
you
can't.
You have to have the full squad. This is not baseball. This is not football.
Right.
These guys are on the ice maybe 45 to 60 seconds, and then you're shifting into another line. So when you're not getting the output from the lower lines, as you were saying, and basically you sent a message to them, hey, either play or you're gonna stay here by me. But the thing is, what do you have to do with these guys now to bring them to this number 1 and number 2 line tier?
Yeah, I mean, I think I got to keep harping on the positives. Stay on the positives, reinforce those efforts that we're looking for, those second and third efforts on pucks, the physicality of the game, the simple straight line stuff. That's the stuff I need to continue to celebrate, because that's what works for us. I mean, we play our best when we're, like I said before, possessing pucks and playing hard. And guy snows our goalie, we give him a shot. We play tough. When we play like that, it keeps everybody engaged in the game. And I did notice, a testament to our guys, like to our guys that I mentioned before, our third, fourth liners. I started to see some things out of those guys this weekend, despite, the outcome. I started to see some of those traits come out in some of those guys, sort of the aha moment where they're like, oh, okay, well, yeah, if I play this way, good things happen. And so
what coach has been coaching me is it works apparently.
Yeah. I think someone said a quote the other day. It was, when all things fail, just remember what your coach said the first time. And I think as smart alecky as that sounds, it's true. It's you kind of get a good sense of things after you've coached for many years, and a lot of times you sort of redirect things in a way where you're like, oh, well, okay, we got to create offense, we got to shoot more, and the fact of the matter is we have strength. When we're playing solid D, we create offense from that, and that's kind of the direction we're headed now, is focusing more on the defensive side of the game to start creating that offense.
Do you see, and again, Nick bringing up the numbers as we got started here, do you see that a weakness is in between the pipes, or is it somewhere in between, the focus of going from offense to defense and then the shot going in between the pipes?
So, no, I don't think our weakness is between the pipes. Just in any situation, in any sport, right, if you get a lot of shots on you, that will all start.
One's going to eventually trickle on in. Absolutely, yeah.
So and that's kind of what ends up happening in our third period. We sort of lose the jam.
Transition flow.
Yep, we lose the jam. We lose we lose that little extra edge of energy, and then sort of sit back on our heels, and that's when our goaltending gets a little peppered. And when you're scrambling as a goaltender, and scrambling means you stop one and the puck goes out again, and it's available for another shot. Now you scramble again. Well, the third one's tough to pick up, and that's not just on our goalie. That's on our D front, like our net front there. So it becomes kind of a thing that happens in the third period when we really need to. I'm really pushing the pedal to the metal on getting some more clientele in, so we can answer that bell when the time comes, and we're very close on all of that. So, and I know I've been saying that for a while.
But it's not a case of them being out of shape. What is the mentality of period number 3? Because again, it seems like more biscuits go in the basket against us.
It's an age and experience thing. It's a maturity thing. It's being able to sort of push the tiredness out of your body, in a sense, out of your mind, and sort of being more basic, like clearing that guy out in front of the net and bearing down and getting that puck out of the zone versus trying to make that hero play. Everybody tends in this day and age wants to be the hero, and we don't need heroes. We need guys to bear down and get the job done.
Well, Coach, you can't be there in front and being that guy, knocking him out of the way in front. So how does that relay from you down to Nick? That, hey, it's the third period. Hey, look, I know you're tired. Yeah. I know it's been a tough game, but we got to keep him away from in front of the netminder. What do we do?
Yeah, that's exactly. It's the mindset is, simplify. Take what you think you should do as far as, just get control of that puck, box out, get your body in front of him, clear him out, cross-check him, whatever you got to do. Clear him out and make sure that puck gets out of the front of the net, so those rebounds aren't continuing to fire at our goaltending.
Well, and again, and I think it's something that you brought up as well too. Something at least you address kind of with the season is just kind of take it small steps at a time. Just focus on the small positives, which hopefully again translate into getting that first victory, kind of getting over those hills right now that kind of are showcasing right now in front of at least young athletes right now for the Cheyenne Stampede.
But on that same breath though, Nick. Each weekend doesn't get any easier.
And it doesn't this weekend, as you'll see the undefeated Ogden Mustangs here in town in a 3-game series. But
you know what? They got to do the same thing. They lace up the skates. They got to put on the pads. No different than we do. Yeah, they might be a little older. They might be a cagey veteran team. But, these guys got to have some type of breakthrough come up, and you feel it's right around the corner.
Yeah, we're starting to show good signs. We played the 4th best team in the league, in Utah, and obviously we're playing one of the top teams here this weekend, and the message is the same. We have to simplify. We can't expose pucks. When I say expose pucks, I mean, we can't have the fancy dangly stick handling efforts. We have to have the protect the puck and possess puck effort, where we're not giving them opportunities to transition into a line rush where they're, if they poke the puck away from us, now they got 3 guys coming down on our D. We want to be heavy and hard below the dots in the offensive zone, possess pucks and try to jam them into the net. I mean, that's going to be our identity. We've learned over the course of the last 10 to 12 games that we have to we got to play hard below the dots and possess pucks. We can't what's the word I'm looking for? We can't fancy pants them in there. We gotta we gotta jam them in there.
But he's not looking for the fancy pants triple deeks out there.
But you've had guys that have played under your system before, so they know what's expected of them. Then we have the newer young men that have come in to the system that you are again. Let's say you're teaching them one way, they were taught another way. How does that all mesh together? And again, it's not going to happen in game 1. It's not going to happen so much in game 13. This might take a process till after the first of the year. But how close are we getting to get all these guys on the same page?
We're close. I mean, some guys transition faster than others. There are guys that will, like a Dawson Nelson who, from day one has just been like a sponge. He just absorbs and. Everything you tell him, he puts right into his game right away, and that's kind of what you need to survive in this game. I've had guys that I've coached in the past, like a Mason Appleton in the USHL, who he was a 4th liner for us when I coached in Tri-Cities, and he went from being like a 4th line guy who was kind of mucking and grinding to, listening to the message he was being that were being sent to him from the staff, and next thing you know, at the end of the year, he's drafted by the Winnipeg Jets, like 3rd overall. So. Those type of messages I'm constantly sending out to the guys. Like, the difference between a guy getting a D1 commit and a guy on our team is literally like changing 3 or 4 things in your game and being consistent with it. And so those are the messages we're relaying. Like, everybody's got a chance to be successful in this sport if they just learn how to adapt and adjust their game to what they're seeing in front of them. And I think. Like I said, we're playing stronger below the dots. We're possessing pucks more. Now we just got to transition that part of the game to getting more opportunities on the net.
Well, hopefully you're successful coming up this weekend. Again, a 3-game homestand against the Ogden Mustangs at the Cheyenne Ice and Event Center again Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Also, too, this weekend, and I'll have you talk a little bit about this, Coach, military appreciation kind of series. With this, I do believe, again, auctioning off player jerseys that are going to Stampede Charities. Little fun events, I do believe, Friday as well. There will be a special event, but again, good weekend.
He'll be in the locker room when this is all happening.
He can't get on at least the fun stuff, but I mean, again, at least good events happening this weekend. Again, with these series for fans to come on out and watch the Stampede and kind of participate with the team.
Yeah, I mean, it's more than just a hockey game, right? Like it's an event.
It's a community event, essentially.
Yeah, we're working to support the local businesses and local charities in the area, and obviously the military event's always a big event every year.
And F.E. Warren Air Force Base has been a very big part of the Stampede life.
Yeah, and we're aware that there's always new families coming in, to the base, and this is a great place to bring the kids. I mean, I got my 8-month-old daughter out there watching games. She's cheering us on, so it's fun for everybody. And the best part about this is we're honoring our servicemen and women, and by auctioning off these jerseys and contributing back into those charities, and that's always exciting. I mean, everybody's doing it around this time, and so it's something that everybody can kind of rally around. It's exciting. The jerseys that we have this year are actually really cool.
They look nice.
Yeah, they're pretty awesome actually. We have a great company we work with, and we give them our ideas, and they put forward a a pretty good product. So I think everybody will be happy with the jerseys on the silent auction.
Those designs you can find on the Cheyenne Stampede website by CheyenneStampede.com. Also, too, it does give you information on about the auction. I do believe at least auction for these jerseys, again, player-worn jerseys, bids start at $125 and will end, at least you can bid online, but also, too, you can bid at those games as well. And I do believe third period of Saturday's game is the last, at least, kind of cutoff time.
Yep.
If you want to pick up one of these player-worn jerseys.
All right.
Yeah,
Sounds
absolutely.
Good. Coach, thanks so much for joining us on our Coaches segment here, Cheyenne Stampede Coaches Show. We're going to take a timeout. We'll come back. We get a chance to talk to one of the players from the Stampede. Again, introduce you to these young men that are on the ice performing for us. And matter of fact, you'll see this young man out all 3 games coming up this weekend. We're back after these words.
You love the Lennox difference, from collision repair to minor nicks and dents. Certified quality you can trust. Nobody cares about your car more than us. Lennox Auto Body, we do what we say. We fix it right and get you on your way. No shortcuts, no compromise. Lennox Auto Body. No shortcuts, no compromise.
Lennox Auto Body at 1020 Dunn Avenue and the Detail Center at 617 East Pershing Boulevard, Cheyenne. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think authentic Italian. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think made fresh from scratch. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think great pizza, delicious Philly cheesesteak, superb hot and cold Italian sandwiches, meatballs, sausage, and special subs, calzones, crisp salads, and great service. When you say Mondello's Pizzeria, think unmatched Italian taste. Mondello's Pizzeria, 1507 Stillwater Avenue, your only true Italian stop for lunch or dinner.
At Medicap Pharmacy, we concentrate on nothing but your medications and your health. Each location is a locally owned full-service neighborhood pharmacy. We won't make you walk through aisles and aisles of stuff or wait in a long line. Instead, we'll always make time for you by listening, answering your questions, and explaining your prescriptions.
Medicap Pharmacy, we'll always make time for you.
Medicap Pharmacy, 1947 Bluegrass Circle, next to Texas Roadhouse in Cheyenne. Or call 635-3712.
Family owned and operated, Terrell Honda reminds you that the 2018's gotta go now. They're stacked deep so they can be sold cheap. Whether you buy or lease, this is the perfect time of year to shop for the best selection of 2018 Honda Civics, Accords, HRVs, and CRVs before the 2019s hit the showroom floor. So take a test drive today at Terrell Honda, where you'll love their brand of dealing. 1919 Westland Road, Motor City, Cheyenne. And check them out online at TerrellHonda.com.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
For today, it'll be partly sunny with a chance of snow showers with highs around 36. For tonight, it'll be mostly cloudy with a chance of snow showers throughout the evening with lows around 19. On Thursday, it'll be partly sunny with highs around 32. And on Thursday night, it'll be mostly clear with lows around 16.
Tired of lazy and predictable sports talk radio? We know you are. This is Cheyenne's new sports radio home. It's Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it's right here on AM 1480 KRAE.
Man, the day has flown right by, but we always get a chance to, when we do our Cheyenne Stampede show, is chat with one of the youngsters on the ball club. And again, we get a chance now to talk to Keegan Barker, who is on the defense side of the Stampede lines. And we'll get to your craft on the ice, but tell us a little bit about yourself, how old you are, going to school, what are you doing?
Yeah, I'm from Littleton, Colorado. I'm 20 years old. I graduated in 17, and I've been looking at colleges. You know, this is my overall goal. Looking at CSU, University of Wyoming, Lawrence Tech, University, Utah Valley University as well. But yeah, I aspire to be a physician's assistant if hockey doesn't work out. So
from Littleton, Colorado, so familiar with the area, know about Cheyenne, Wyoming, but kind of go piece by piece by this. How were you kind of recruited to the Cheyenne Stampede? Is it something that you were familiar with, head coach Neil Breen, but what brought you up to come play for the Stampede?
Yeah, so last year I played in Wichita for the Junior Thunder. I went back there earlier this year, and unfortunately my brother was hit by a car, and so I I talked to my coach and asked for a trade closer to home, and talked to Breen, and he was like, family comes first, and that's my overall goal. They're supporting me living my dream, so I got to support them as well. And it's worked out great. I get to go home usually once a week and hang out with my little brother, and he's doing good.
I would say, is he recuperating?
Yeah. He had a skull fracture and a compound fracture in his left leg, I believe, left leg. He went to the doctor on Friday, and looks like he can start putting weight on it. So he's coming around, which is really good.
That's good too. As being the brother, you don't have to stress it. You can go home from time to time since you're just down the road from Littleton. You're 20 years old, so you'll age out after this year. This is your final season of hockey. Tell us a little bit about your experience in the Western States Hockey League.
Yeah, so I started playing. I started playing inline hockey when I was really young. I jumped around from sports. I played football, baseball, basketball. Obviously, basketball. I'm roughly 5'6", so that's not really my sport. But
just a little bit undersized.
Just a couple centimeters. And then I started playing ice hockey in 7th, 8th grade, and played in high school, played JV, and then varsity in Colorado, and was about to go up to CSU, and then Rob from Junior Thunder contacted me, and it really sparked my interest. I've always had hockey as kind of that outlet for me, and so I was blessed to be able to go out there. Last year was a pretty rough year. I think we won 3 games. So it was definitely a learning experience. I got a lot of ice time, which was really, really, really good. I was the oldest kid on the team as a rookie, so it was a lot different. But it's a great league. I think Breener and I have talked about this as well. It's kind of like that cushion between the NAL and that Tier 3 level, maybe for kids that have the potential and have the skill, but maybe not the work ethic, or vice versa.
Well, and I like how you said. I said for basketball, where you can't play, but on skates with all the padding on, it's a different breed. The guy could be 6'7", you could still be 5'10", whatever the case may be. But the thing is, you're all about the same when you're on skates. You're a defenseman, so you are, quote, the last line of defense before it goes between the pipes. Again, you got to be that guy when it goes offense, slashing back to transition to defense. Tell us a little bit about some of the drills that Coach Breen has instilled upon you guys to make sure you are better defensemen.
Yeah, so I know we've really struggled with gap control. A lot of our defensemen, including myself, we're afraid of getting what they call burned, or where the forwards coming at you are too fast and they go around you. But so we've been really working on gap control, as well as in the corners we work on creating a scrum and hitting and pinning, and that's really something big, because being very short benched, you really got to slow the game down and take control instead of letting them run all around and stuff like that. So
as you talk, a question I want to ask you, Keegan, again, as you want to kind of move on, at least get the college education in, which again we all encourage, looking at kind of local schools, whether it is University of Wyoming, CSU. But for you, hockey, are you looking to kind of continue that in the college ranks? I mean, what do you kind of see for yourself in the future? Are you looking to, is there NHL kind of aspirations, or I mean, what do you kind of see yourself 5 years in the future?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, NHL would be a dream come true, but in reality, it's not going to happen. It's something that I really realized last year and this year, is that there is an incredible amount of talent out there, and so I haven't really been blessed with a bunch of talent. I've been blessed with enough, but I really rely on my work ethic. That's something I take pride in. So in 5 years from now, if obviously I want my college education, and beyond that, I'd love to coach. That's something I really look into, and I take pride in my leadership as well. So
I think you have cores, though. Again, he's kind of selling himself short almost. Again, he's got worth ethic, at least worth ethic. Yeah, again, I keep looking at you and I lose my mind. Again, I have your senior moment.
Anyway,
but go ahead.
Don't listen to him. Keegan Barker joining us here. Real quick here, being from Littleton, Colorado, would I venture to say that you are a follower of the Avs, and anybody in particular? Again, I'm sure you've been down there ever since the arrival of the Colorado Avalanche, right?
Yeah, definitely big fans. last year when I got back from Wichita, I went to the playoff game against the Preds. Unfortunately, we didn't come out on top, but it's always a fun time. As far as my favorite player, I think Landeskog is a great leader. I think when he got to the Avs, he was one of those skilled players, and now he's kind of taking on the role of whatever the team needs. And right now, they don't really have an enforcer, and so he kind of dictates that stuff. And I also love Sven Andergetto. I think his play style and his work ethic is it's insane.
The word is work ethic.
Again,
work ethic.
I go dumb when I look at you every single time. So, again, I just blame you on that one. But
are we about ready to wrap things up?
Absolutely.
Keegan, I want to thank you so much. Good luck to you this season with the Cheyenne Stampede, and W's will come.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
All righty, we're going to wrap up our program here.
How about don't mess with that mic?
Well, I don't know what's going on here, but we're going to take care of that in a little bit.
It's your equipment, so
anyway, we want to remind everybody tomorrow we will have our LCCC Coaches Show from 4 until 5 o'clock. We'll start things out with Brian Ortmeyer. He will bring a player in from 4 until 4:30. Jason Ficka joins us at 4:30, the head coach of the Golden Eagles, and he will have Hayden Collier, the 6'10" power forward from Rangoria, New Zealand, joining us on 1480 KRAE, and then whoever else Coach Alan Edwards joins us tomorrow.
As we had the Cowgirls earlier today, again, at least a few minutes ago with Joe Legursky. Again, we will get the men's side of things after, again, a rough loss last night. But, again, we'll get a little season prediction from Coach.
The best of the 50s and 60s forthcoming tonight from 8 until 10. It is our Golden Age of Radio Theater with 2 Sherlock Holmes to be followed by 2 suspense theaters.
Yeah,
right?
That's correct, yeah.
All right, I got that all figured out.
Because tomorrow gets a little convoluted, but yeah.
All right, well, we're going to wrap things up here as we do each day with what's going on this date in history in sports, so lay it on me.
And I'll leave it up to the forum because it does pertain to hockey, at least with the NHL. But on this date, November 7th, 1962, this goalie set a NHL record. And that's all I'll give you.
Gump Worsley.
Not even close. How about, if no one else guessing, November 7th, 1962, Glenn Hall sets a NHL record of 503 consecutive games as a goalie. There wasn't a whole lot.
You like that, though? I threw Gump Worsley out there. You like that, huh?
You're going way old.
Yeah.
Let's go.
All righty, well,